Hey folks, Sean here once again with the latest edition of Beer-snobby goodness. In this edition, I'm going international for a change to one of my old standbys from Scotland. This is Innis Gunn Vintage edition. This is an oak-aged, very limited run. There's no specific name for the beer other than vintage, so this one was brewed and bottled in 2015. First run, oak barrel aging. Got my trusty pint glass. Interesting. They don't normally fizz like that. It's different. Okay, had to get a little creative with my execution of this video since the beer got incredibly foamy and I had dinner on the table and a slightly impatient wife, so drank it all down. So I'm going to do a full-blown describer in the remaining take of this. Excellent. I mean, this is the kind of thing I've come to expect from Innis Gunn. This typically earthy character that comes from whatever malts and whatnot they utilize for the mix. What's interesting is the bourbon note is constant, not as pronounced as an American dark beer. And what's also interesting to note as we get closer to the bottom of this, the beer gets close to room temperature. The bourbon note remains as kind of a light accent piece, whereas you take a bourbon aged stout, that bourbon burn really becomes prominent towards the end. This sits more subtle in the background. Very tasty. A nice earthy character. There's definitely a light spice note in there as well, and that's pretty much it. It's interesting to note this was aged 100 days in an American bourbon barrel. So the differences in the notes is definitely has nothing to do with what nation the barrel is from. So kudos to that. That's actually pretty much it on that. This was when I picked up the beer store in Malvern a couple of weeks ago. I'd probably seen it on at least 3 separate trips, and finally gave in to temptation, as it were. So it's a bottle so cool. There we go. Vintage, bottle conditioned. So cool. Comes in its own tube. And the tube itself, basically describing the same thing as the bottle. I mean, it was aged for 100 days. Let's see. Got our 2015 fill. And I don't know what this means. It's produced from 183 barrels. I don't know if that's classification or the number of barrels utilized. But in any event, fine beverage, no complaints. The only demerit I've got is the mysterious foam burst that I got upon pouring it even a little bit. But apples and oranges settled down quickly enough and made for a hell of a good drink. So they had at least a few more of these at Beer Store Malvern as of a couple of weeks ago. They run $25 a tube. Not cheap, definitely one for the more adventurous drinker, but I think it's worth the money if you happen to have it burning a hole in your pocket. So that'll do it for me. Until next time, this is Sean. Cheers.